Jane Weiner is a dancer. 10 years as a top dancer in New York City, and now the head of her own dance company in Houston. Susan Raft is active as a wife and the mother of a teenage daughter, and busy with many volunteer activities. Jane and Susan, friends and mutual supporters.
From childhood, we were just best friends and did everything together.
Susan's just a wonderful person. We're very close.
The mutual admiration runs deep. Jane and Susan grew up together in Pennsylvania, took dancing lessons together, and came from a loving family. Jane and Susan are sisters, but never realized how close they would become until life took them in a direction that neither would have imagined. The year was 1993, when Susan, at the age of 29, first felt a lump in her breast. Because she was so young, her gynecologist was not concerned. 2 weeks later, when Susan discovered she was pregnant, she tried to push thoughts of the lump to the back of her mind.
I went through the summer. My daughter was born December 31st of 93, and went through the summer kind of having a haunting feeling, waking up in the middle of the night, knowing something wasn't quite right with my body.
Susan's breast cancer was finally diagnosed 18 months after she first felt it. The pea-sized tumor had grown to the size of a walnut. Her daughter Marika was 8.5 months old when Susan became a patient at MD Anderson Cancer Center. There she underwent preoperative chemotherapy to shrink the tumor, a total mastectomy followed by reconstruction, more chemotherapy, and then radiation. It was tough, but afterwards, in her mind, she was finally finished with it all and wanted to get on with living. During her sister's surgery, Jane was in Paris touring Europe with her dance company and feeling frustrated that she couldn't do more to help her sister. She decided to organize a group of dancers to raise money for breast cancer awareness.
The four of us put together our first show. Very small, very tiny. All the best dancers and dance companies in New York said yes, though, which is pretty great.
The dancers, who called themselves the Pink Ribbons Project, Dancers in Motion Against Breast Cancer, raised $10,000 in that first show. The money was used to send 8 women with metastatic breast cancer to testify before the Food and Drug Administration in Washington. 3 cancer drugs were approved for use in the United States.
I know one of them by name because 8 months later I had to go on the drug. It was Taxotere.
During the 8 months after her surgery, Susan's cancer had come back, this time in her spine.
My sister danced to save my life, and it was that drug that I needed to go on in order to get the remission to go forward with the stem cell transplant.
The news that her sister's cancer had spread to the bone resulted in life-changing decisions for Jane. She decided to leave her career in New York and move to Houston to help Susan. Now, many years after the bone marrow transplant, and against all odds, Susan remains cancer-free. Together, the two sisters have developed the Pink Ribbons Project in Houston. Using the arts and other community-related events, they raise money to increase breast cancer awareness.
It is our goal to reach out to as many people in the greater Houston community as we can through awareness and providing support to survivors and their families.
A variety of fundraising efforts are ongoing, including a gala every other year at the Wortham Center, the Pink Platter Project, which sells platters and plates designed and painted by local artists and volunteers, and the annual Tour de Pink, a bike ride through the Texas countryside.
The funds keep Pink Ribbons Project going strong, and that's why our fundraising efforts are so important to us.
The Pink Ribbons Project has given money to the National Alliance of Breast Cancer Organizations and locally to the Rose Diagnostic Center, which treats medically underinsured women, and to the Harris County Hospital District to provide women with Saturday mammography appointments. The funding also provides support for Pink Aware, an outreach program to high schools, businesses, and social organizations to educate women and girls about breast health. Another project, Pink Alive, is a support group for breast cancer survivors.
The Pink Ribbons Project, I think, meets a need in finding unique ways to bring a very strong and powerful message out to the community.
In an effort to give back some of the help she had received, Susan and a fellow volunteer began the Pink Ribbon Volunteer Desk at the MD Anderson Breast Center. Here, breast cancer survivors are available to talk with patients and family members. In honor of her community involvement, Susan has been given the Spirit of Survivorship Award from the Lance Armstrong Foundation. But she credits her sister with having the vision for the Pink Ribbons Project and helping to bring it to life. Susan and Jane, two sisters working together to make women aware of breast cancer and what they can do to help themselves and those they love.
She's such an artist, but she's also got such a heart.
Susan's just a wonderful person. I mean, she's my sister, but she's my best friend.